This is part of a recovery series, and if you'd like to get the inquiry for it, then you can click the link below. And each of the videos has some sweet little quotes and some inquiry questions for you to explore, to percolate with. And I hope that the classes and the inquiry are both of benefit on your path. Namaste, welcome to your practice. I recently taught a retreat in Colorado called The Inner Wilderness with a friend Mary of mine. It was a recovery retreat. And we had this beautiful conversation with everyone exploring, like, really, what does this word wilderness mean? And everybody had, different ideas and associations. But for a moment, for you, maybe closing your eyes and feeling into your system, like, how does this word wilderness land? And what does it associate? What comes up immediately? Visions, words, imagery. And maybe I'll let that land a bit as we move and we breathe, just thinking about what is a wilderness. What is wilderness, and what could inner wilderness mean? And what does it have to do with recovery? I don't want to lead you too much, but I'll leave that to drop like a little pebble. And let's bring the hands to the heart for a moment. Press hand into hand. Thumb into heart, heart back into thumb. Big inhale and a big sigh out. Inhale the arms, lift up, reach, 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 reach. And exhale, hands to heart center. Very slow, using the whole inhale to get where you're going, the whole exhale to bring it back down. Inhale, lift up, hands connect. And exhale, back to center. Again. Back to center. All right, hands and knees. Ooh. Find connection with the earth, the ground, all the points where you're connected, with the knees, with the tops of the feet, with the hands. And from those places, press down. And then wiggle about. Feel what's here. Maybe resist going right into a pattern, a condition. And find a place that is not habitual. Sometimes we have to seek. And then tuck the toes. Press again firmly into the hands and lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And the same thing here, move around and find something that, maybe isn't a pattern. Move it a different way. And maybe you move between hands and knees in downward dog. One thing that comes up for me when I think of wilderness, I think of parts untouched. Places in which we haven't put design or condition on. Downward facing dog. And while we are so affected by our surroundings, by our pasts, by the people we're around, by the environment, and that is so absolutely true and accurate, are there spaces in us which we can nurture that either remains undisturbed or can be recultivated, regenerated into spaciousness, into wildness? Inhale, the right leg lifts up. Bend the knee, open the hip. Bend the standing leg as well. And find a little bit of buoyancy here, a little bit of bounce. And then a big step outside the right hand. And let the back knee come down, let the pelvis be heavy. And the heart lifts up. From here, you're going to push through the front heel and sink yourself back. The leg goes straight-ish. It does not need to go straight, but flex the toes back. And then move in between these two spaces and anywhere in between. And slowly coming forward. Let the left hand be wide and kind of lean wide on the left hand and the right. Maybe forearm can go to the knee. Roll the shoulders back and let the heart lift up. Maybe even the back of the heart can kind of lift the front of the heart a little bit. And you can stay right here, letting gravity do its thing. Or maybe begin to bend the back knee. You can grab for the foot or you can just flex the foot and push the top of the knee down. It gets the same effect. Or maybe you reach behind. If you do reach behind, then soften both of the elbows. And then again, back of the heart lifts the front of the heart. Maybe even the head moves back just slightly to open the throat. And slowly release down. Again, push through the front heel. The right hand can come around and kind of grab for the left ribs. And we'll move in between these two positions again, but with the arm. So an inhale, you come up and open up. And exhale, pour down. Give yourself a little hug. And then open back up twice more like this. Slow, steady, no hurry, your breath. All right, right hand comes down. And very slowly, we're going to bring the left hip down. So you may need to move the hands, and the right foot can move back as well. And begin to kind of roll around here. There's no specifics, no sharp alignment, letting it be a little wild, a little organic here. And finding what feels good in the body. I tend to feel this on the left side of my body. Just kind of rolling around, see what you feel. And then bend the bottom leg. Start to bend it, and you'll come up to a seat. So options here, you can take Gomukhasana, where the legs will be wrapped, or you can take double pigeon where they're sitting on top of one another. You can also extend the bottom leg out in either one of these poses and see what works in your body today, in this moment. It's always shifting. And you can stay here letting gravity have you. Or maybe there is movement in the upper body. And you could also pour forward. And could there be parts of you that are untouched, undisturbed, uncultivated? And sometimes it's not about, you know, this one, I don't necessarily think there's this like virgin piece of us that has, you know, never been affected by life at all. But I think a part of recovery is finding these spaces and letting them grow in the ways in which they would like to grow beyond the ways in which we've been told, beyond the ways in which we've been taught. Do we allow to regenerate parts of us? to leave spaces like of conservation areas in our inner land to let it play out as it will. Slowly unwind the top leg and let it come out to the right. The left knee can come out. And slowly reach over towards the right. Head can go in the hand or to a block. Not the head to a block, probably the arm to the block. Left arm can come up and over, maybe reaching and relaxing over the top of the head or reaching behind the back. And then lean back into the shoulders. Allowing yourself to settle in a little bit here. Maybe relaxing just a few % more, letting the bones settle. And wherever you are, slowly bring left hand to the back of the head, and we'll take a few movements here. So just curl down, letting the elbow be heavy. It even comes towards the foot or towards the knee. And then inhale, open up. 2 or 3 times like this. Slow motion. And slowly open up. Hands and knees. Cat-cow. See what's here. And downward facing dog. What does recovery have to do with wilderness? You know, maybe what does recovery mean to you? What does that word indicate, associate? Inhale, left leg lifts up high, high, high. Bend the knee, open the hip, bend both knees. Find some buoyancy here. Really pressing through the palms. And a big step outside the left hand. Let the knee gently drop down. Let the heart open. And we move from here into an 𝙎𝙪𝙥𝙚 shape, lengthening the front leg, moving back and forth. Blocks can be really great here. So what does recovery mean on like a broad sense, like just the word? It's kind of a different inquiry than what does recovery in your life look like? And then come forward. The right hand comes out towards the side. Left forearm or hand comes to the knee. Begin to roll the shoulders back and rotate the spine around. Rotate the ribs around the spine just slightly. Maybe bending the back leg, flexing the foot if you do, and opening the heart. A lot going on here. And maybe staying here or reaching back for the foot. And slowly release. Lengthen the front leg again, wrapping left arm around the rib cage, tucking chin to chest, and then inhale, come forward, open up. 2 or 3 times like this. And then slowly, slowly, we're going to travel onto finding the right hip onto the earth. And feel what you feel as you do so. Go slow, find nuance. You know, when I think about recovery, and I've been in a type of recovery, my own type of recovery for a long time. For so long, recovery was recovery from something. I was in recovery from, you know, substance, from drugs and alcohol. A lot of people in recovery from certain relationships or self-talk or, you know, the way that our culture is. Somebody recently told me that they were in recovery from living in diet culture, which I really, really loved. But I think there's a point in which we also need to remember that we're recovering to, that we're not getting just away from, but recovering to. That's why I like this term, like regeneration, regenerative practices. Not only can we get away from something, but can we create and cultivate? And slowly finding your way into double pigeon, Gomukhasana. Doesn't have to be the same as it was on the other side. Contrary to popular belief, we don't start out even. So we're always so often trying to get back to like this evenness, but we didn't start out even, so we can relax. And find stillness here or find movement. And bringing these two words together now of wilderness and recovery, like what is it to recover our wilderness? To recover your wilderness, not necessarily a recovery from, but a recovery towards this part of us that is so alive beyond condition. Slowly, this time the left leg reaches out. And reaching towards the left leg. Elbow finding block or floor or thigh. Maybe head rests in the hands. Noting the difference on each side. Maybe the right arm goes over the head. Maybe it stays just where it is. Or maybe it comes behind the back and you can lean back a little bit more. Feeling the breath in the body. Slowly rising up, coming into a seat. Put the hands onto the knees. Rotate the spine. Spiral the spine all directions. And come into Samputa Mudra. So we're just going to cup both of the hands. We're going to cover them like this, like there's something inside. And that's really what this mudra is about. You can bring it in towards your belly, towards your ribs. Let it rest on you. And it's really this, you know, treasure. So for all intents and purposes, this can be our inner wilderness. Oh, hi, Sundari. This is my friend Persia's puppy, who I'm puppy sitting. Yeah. So bring your mudra to you, this inner wilderness. And we talk a lot about like self-tending and, you know, self-work and self-tending and all of this, but can we consider that there's a part of us that we could just allow, that we could decide not to grow on, not to plant on, not to till, not to do, you know, put our conditions upon, to make it, to manage it in a certain way, but is there, you know, a little nook within that we can allow to be and to see then what flourishes in that natural ecology? You know, what could happen in that space? Someone I love to read is Stephen Jenkinson, and he owns a lot of land and stewards a lot of land in Canada, and there's a big parcel of it that he never touches, and he never even goes in it. He allows it to be just as it is, and he doesn't do anything to it. It's like some land just wants to be land. I allow it just to be. So hopefully we can approach our journeys this way. To not always be trying to fix and to heal, but let there be part of us that can just be allowed. Three breaths in with 3 internal hums out at your own time when you're ready. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you'd like to join Emerge the Journey, it's coming up soon, and it is a potent exploration. It's October 29th through January 5th, and we look at the human experience through so many lenses, cognitive for sure, but also weaving into this embodied cognition that we have. Yeah. Exploring somatically our patterns, our edges, and also what nourishes us. So it's a really beautiful and intensive immersion. If you're interested, you can click the link below to find out more about it, and would love to explore with you.